What is up, everybody? My name is SirEmCeeCoy, and welcome to week 14 of our first season. We're getting close to the end, and this is when the playoff race becomes a thing. Thankfully, we are 9-3. We are basically at the top of the AFC, but we've got to keep winning if we want to keep that position. The AFC North is pretty wide open in terms of everywhere under us, but we're going on a losing streak, and before we know it, we could be looking at a wild card position. This week, we play the Dolphins. And this is the first time that we're going to get to see ex-Steeler Mike Wallace play against us. He departed for the big money out here, but we found his replacements in Marcus Wheaton, Derek Moy, Emmanuel Sanders, and Antonio Brown. They've all been able to fill in, so let's go. Dolphins are going to start with the ball, and out comes Ryan Tannehill, having a bit of a sophomore slump. 6 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. See how he does against us. Burn in motion, handoff to Miller, and on the very first play, Vince Williams puts the ball on the ground for Pittsburgh, and that is how our defense wants to start. And here is that offense, led by Brian Hartline and Mike Wallace on the outside, and Lamar Miller on the inside for running back. Tannehill, 2nd and 12, going outside, and there is Mike Wallace with his first catch, an impressive one along the sideline at that. Showing he can do more than just go deep, I guess. 1st and 10, split shotgun again, and it's going to be a handoff to Lamar Miller, and he has got some initial speed. He can fly. There goes to him again, bouncing off one tackle, and Lawrence Timmons is shutting it down in the backfield. He loses 2. So now it's 3rd down and 4. Let's see if our defense can make our first stop on 3rd down. Tannehill calling out a hot route, and Lamar Miller stays in back to block. Tannehill downfield, he finds his tight end, Jacob Byrne, who then turns upfield, takes a big hit. But they're into Steelers territory and close to field goal range. Tannehill, handoff to Miller. Once again, using that speed. There's a 1st down and more. Down close inside the 20. Call it the 19-yard line. Lamar Miller's got some crazy agility. And now they're going to go slant left to him. And Lamar Miller has got some space. And Lamar Miller runs through a tackle and is in for an easy touchdown. We have got to start hoping that he's not going to run like that all day, or else we are in trouble. Troy Polamalu wasn't able to wrap him up at the goal line. It's an easy touchdown. They score on their first drive, and now it's our turn. We're going to start with Le'Veon Bell and picking up where he left off. Only 2 yards. It was a hard game running for him last week. And now Roethlisberger over the middle. He finds Antonio Brown. A nice 20-yard reception to get this drive going. And Antonio Brown coming off a monster performance last week. I don't really expect him to be able to match that. 238 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's almost, impossible. But there was Antonio Brown with a nice jet sweep. He gained 7 on that one. He had some daylight but was caught from behind, and now it's 3rd and 7. Roethlisberger dropping back, pressure is incoming, and he's just forced to throw that one away. Free rusher came in, so the Steelers punt on their first drive, down by 7. Dolphins take over in the shotgun, and Tannehill is going to start running. He has got some space. A big hit, forced fumble, and it's picked right back up by Jacob Byrne. Already 2 forced fumbles. This one by Cortez Allen. A big hit on Tannehill. But they're just going right into the Dolphins' hands. 3rd and 7 upcoming now. Shotgun look. Miller again stays back into block for Tannehill. Slides left. Throwing now for Hartline, but he steps out of bounds. Steelers get a break there, and we take over again. 2nd drive now. We're going to start again with the run. Handoff to Bell, who spins through a tackle. He gets about 3 yards there. Still not much space, so it's 3rd and 7. Roethlisberger dropping back. Pressure coming, and Cameron Wake comes in free. He is with his team-leading 7th sack on the season. He is a monster on the end. We have got to look out for him. Dolphins again get the ball, and Lamar Miller again meets Vince Williams right off the handoff, but he's able to hold on to that. Our defense has got to start making those hits. We've noticed he's susceptible to them. 2nd and 11. Tannehill is going to go back to Miller. Now he's got that outside speed, but it's met again. It's getting a big hit put on him, but he's already up to 50 yards in the first quarter. 3rd and 6 upcoming now. Tannehill dropping back, setting up the screen for Miller, and he has nowhere to go as a Shamarko Thomas comes down to make a tackle. Great stop again by the defense. Still down by 7. Roethlisberger with Bell back, and he motions Brown. Roethlisberger feeling pressure, but he gets it out to Heath Miller, and now he's making a... Whoa! Heath Miller with a spin move? That is not something you see every day. 25 yards. All right. Now we're going to hand off to Bell. Now he's getting the outside edge. Tries to go through a tackle, but he's able to get some yards. 5 on that carry, his longest of the day. So that sets up 3rd and 5. Roethlisberger. He's hit and sacked again. Cameron Wake now with his 8th. he continues to come in unblocked. I don't know how. Dolphins again take over, and we have yet to get our offense going. There's Lamar Miller to the outside, showing the speed and getting up close to a first down. That'll set him up with 3rd down and 2 now. Offset pistol, burn in motion. They're going to hand off to Miller, and Jamal Westerman says no. Making the most out of his opportunities. More than likely his last game starting, as Jarvis Jones will be coming back next week. A huge hit there. The Steelers once again will take over, trying to even the score, as he finds Wheaton on his first pass for Roethlisberger on this drive. 9 yards, up close to the first down marker. Roethlisberger, pressure incoming on the screen, but he gets it out to Bell, and he has got some blockers across midfield, powering through tackles. A nice 14-yard gain into Dolphins territory for the first time today. Now Roethlisberger dropping back, pressure coming, but he gets it out to Brown, who tries to make it past the defender. He had wide open Green, his 2nd reception, and with that play, Antonio Brown has 1,000 yards receiving on this season. Only the 2nd time he's done that, and now Bell with a move. He's down to the 5-yard line. What a run by Le'Veon Bell. That's the kind of production we haven't seen out of him lately. And there's Will Johnson close to the goal line. And so now we're looking at 3rd and goal, and who are we going to give the rock to? It's going to be Bell, and he is in for his 11th touchdown of his rookie season. What a season he has been having. Le'Veon Bell is doing great in these goal line situations, and he's getting the appreciation from his teammates. So you got a tie ball game now, halfway through the 2nd, and the Dolphins will take over. Tannehill with an off-balance throw to Burn, and he cannot catch it. He gets hit hard. That off-balance throw, probably the reason for that. And now Tannehill, with time, loading up the cannon deep for Wallace, who had a defender beat and dropped it. There's that speed that we know from Mike Wallace, but he cannot hold on. Once again, something we are very familiar with. Steelers back with the ball again. They're going to Le'Veon Bell. He tries to make a move to the outside, but Donnell Ellerby wraps him up. That's still 4 yards, though. Strong formation for the Steelers, and Will Johnson goes in motion. Roethlisberger, nice play action. He's hit by Cameron Wake before he can get that pass off. Wake was all over him again. It's now 3rd and 6 upcoming for Roethlisberger and the Steelers. He'll be passing out of the shotgun. Finds Marcus Wheaton underneath, but he cannot make a move. He is 2 yards short, and that might have just been a quick bad decision. So now we're going to be forced to punt, and it is Matt McBriar back. And it's going to be going to Mike Wallace from the 15. We know he's got speed. He sheds one, runs through another. He's hit, the ball comes out, and it's picked up by Terrence Garvin. Who was it that forced it? It was Vince Williams. What a play by Vince Williams, and just a huge blindside hit on Mike Wallace. His 2nd forced fumble this game. He has just done so good for us. 1st and 10 Pittsburgh. Already inside the red zone, and Antonio Brown makes a move down to the 3-yard line. A big reception and move made by Brown. 1st and goal now. Johnson in motion. They're going to go Bell. He's got space to the outside, and he's in. Number 12 now for Le'Veon Bell. Are you kidding me? He has done so well for us in the red zone, and he just continues to produce touchdown after touchdown. 14-7 Pittsburgh. Dolphins all of a sudden just watch their lead vanish, and there is another big hit on Lamar Miller. He is not good at taking it up the middle, as Steve McClendon was there to blow him up straight off the handoff. 3rd and 11 already now. Lamar Miller in the backfield, and he's got a tight end to the right side. Miller will stay into block. Tannehill looking deep into double coverage, and a dropped interception by Shamarko Thomas. The defense forces a 3-and-out, and we are on fire right now. Roethlisberger is going to hand it off to Bell on the delay, and he's got space. There's about 8 yards there. And we're starting to get the offense rolling. So far, 14 unanswered points. Can we get more before half? Roethlisberger, with time, looking deep, finds Marcus Wheaton along the sidelines. What a throw to Wheaton. That was extremely impressive. 2nd and 10 now. It's going to go to Bell. He bounces off a blocker, and he only has about 4 yards there. Not much. So 3rd and 6 upcoming now. Roethlisberger, play action. Loading up the cannon deep. It's Derek Moy. He produces when he's out on the field. And that is another touchdown for the Steelers. 21 unanswered points, and that is going to be our score going into half. Steelers taking a commanding 21-7 lead going into the half. Let's see if we can keep it up. 2nd half up next. Steelers do get the ball to start the second half, and now we see if we can add on to what is already a nice lead, and Roethlisberger on 2nd and 11 misses Brown, who got some separation, but just a little over his head. So 3rd down and 11 already now for Roethlisberger. Loading up the cannon, couldn't get it over Donnell Ellerby's head, and it's an interception on the first drive. Just adding to Roethlisberger's unsightly interception numbers for the season. That's now number 26. The yards have been great for Ben, but interceptions have been a huge issue. 1st and 10 now. Miller, he's already met in the backfield and takes a huge hit again from Vince Williams, who's just laying out everyone he comes in contact with. 2nd and 8 now. Tannehill looking to get something out of this drive. Scrambling, throwing. Intercepted by Ike Taylor. Are you kidding me? Ike Taylor. That's a rare interception that you'll see out of him. Tannehill had all the time in the world and just a very off-balance throw. All Ike Taylor had to do was turn around, and it was right in his hands. So the Steelers take over again. It's 2nd and 10 now. Roethlisberger loading up. He finds Marcus Wheaton wide open up close to the 45-yard line. That is a great way to start a drive. So far, not bad numbers for him despite the one interception. 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger is going to hand it off to Bell, and he can't really find much, but he still isn't down, and finally Dolphins just pile up all over him. He gets about 3. 3rd down and 8 upcoming, and they haven't exactly been stellar on 3rd downs. Roethlisberger with time threads the needle to Brown. What a throw. Found the window and executed it perfectly. And there's the number comparison. Tannehill, not exactly the best day for him so far. Only 31 yards. And now 2nd and 8 upcoming. Roethlisberger. He's dropping back, throwing it deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted by Chris Clements in the end zone. An unnecessary risk taken, and the Dolphins get the ball right back on a throw that just did not need to be made. Dolphins take over now, and it's going to be Lamar Miller again. And he has got some space, a big gain, but then a huge hit from Troy. He is up close to 100 yards. 2nd and 10 now upcoming. Pistol formation, and again Lamar Miller will again have space, tackled down on top of the logo at midfield. 101 yards for Lamar Miller now. 1st and 10, they'll go left side to him now, and there he goes backwards. Lawrence Timmons says go back to 99 yards. He loses 2. Not quite a 100-yard performance anymore. 3rd and 12 now. Tannehill sliding left with all the time in the world, loading up the cannon, and there's Mike Wallace wide open downfield. Got behind 3 defenders, and the Dolphins are within striking range now. Split shotgun for Tannehill. Loading up, he finds Mike Wallace, and there he has nothing after the catch. Hit immediately. 3rd and 5 now upcoming. Tannehill again in the split shotgun. That seems to be everyone's favorite formation against us. Over the middle, he finds Hartline down at the goal line and stops short at the 1-yard line. That was 9 yards. 1st and goal. They're going to hand it off to Marichek, and he is brought down. He can't get it. Jamal Westerman stopped him there. 2nd and goal. Can we make up? I formation. Wallace motions in. Tannehill back to pass, and there's Marichek. He couldn't run it, but he can catch it wide open, and they cut the lead in half. It is now 21-7 Pittsburgh. Steelers take over, and they're looking to answer, extending back their lead, and again Roethlisberger misses Brown on what seems to be the exact same throw. 2nd and 10 now. We're going to go to Bell. He bounces off one tackle, spinning, and finally just brought down. That's a 4-yard gain, so that sets up 3rd and 6. Pretty manageable. Single back formation. Roethlisberger dropping back, and this time he hits Heath Miller on that route, and he's up across midfield. Heath Miller showing some speed today. 2 receptions, 53 yards. That's what we like to see. 1st and 10 now for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger. He's going to go ground to Le'Veon Bell, and he is met by Cameron Wake, and it goes nowhere. Wake with 9 tackles already in this game. He has been all over. 2nd and 8. We're going to Bell again. Cutting now. Right side. He's got some space up across the 30. And a big run for Le'Veon Bell on his 21st. And we're entering the 4th. Steelers with a 7-point lead. We've got to maintain it. Roethlisberger now dropping back to pass with all the time in the world. But time runs out. And guess who? His 9th sack on the season. 3rd today, Cameron Wake. So 2nd and 20 now, Roethlisberger. We're going to have to make up for some ground. And there it is. Marcus Wheaton makes a move. Touchdown, Steelers. Marcus Wheaton. He got 20 yards and much more. That is a touchdown. And we take our 14-point lead back. 28-14 now with 10 left to go in the fourth. Tannehill, they're going to have to go air if they're going to need something. And what a catch by Brian Hartline in traffic. That was impressive holding on to that. 2nd and 1 now. Tannehill throwing. And again, Hartline, a really nice catch in traffic. He's having some troubles on the sidelines, but apparently he can catch in traffic. 1st and 10. Split shotgun look for Tannehill. Sliding right. Now sliding right again with all the time in the world. And he throws it downfield and somehow finds Mike Wallace. Are you kidding me? 2nd and 10 now. Tannehill had Miller, stays into block, throwing sidelines for Byrne. He makes the catch. It's only 1 yard though. You can't do anything with that. 3rd and 9 now. Tannehill dropping back. The blitz is coming. He throws it out again to Byrne, and this time he just can't make the catch. So they have to settle for a field goal. It is now an 11-point game for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger is going to start with a handoff to Bell, and he's got some blockers to the outside, but he had to bounce off of a tackler. Could have had a lot more, but still 7 yards on that gain. Ellington checks into the game. Not sure why Bell is out, but there's a pass out to Antonio Brown. His 5th reception of the day. Not quite as active as last week. Bell's back, so obviously it wasn't an injury, and it's 3rd and 10. Roethlisberger throwing. He couldn't get it over Brent Grimes. His 3rd interception of the game, and that is number 28 on the season. Those are some insightful numbers. 1st and 10. Tannehill over the middle. He finds Brandon Gibson. He will be down at the 10-yard line. His first catch of the game. He's their slot receiver. He doesn't see much time, though. They're going to hand it off to Miller, and he basically goes nowhere after being met again by Vince Williams. 2nd and goal. Tannehill again will go to Miller. Puts his head down, but only gets about 4. Ike Taylor there for the stop. 3rd and goal. Can we make the stop here? They've only converted 3 out of 10. Tannehill. Great protection. He finds Brandon Gibson in the end zone. And that is once again going to cut our lead down to now a 4-point lead, but they are going for 2. They want to make this a field goal game. Tannehill is going to hand it off to Miller. He's going to spin through a tackle and in. 28-25, and we are looking at a field goal game. 5.5 minutes, and we are going to look to kill as much of this time as possible. And the ensuing kickoff goes deep to Kashif Moore, who takes it way deep out of his end zone, and now cutting left. And Kashif Moore with space, but there's a flag down on the field. 1 man to beat, and he's got it. Kashif Moore all the way to the end zone. But there's a flag on the play, and right now they're looking at Bell and Thomas. So who could it be? And it doesn't matter. It's a clipping on Le'Veon Bell. So now the Steelers have to start all over at the 10, and they find Emmanuel Sanders on a nice catch in traffic. 2nd and 10. Ellington's in the game, and he's going to take a pitch, and he's got some space now. Andre Ellington with a move now. Andre Ellington bouncing off a tackler. Are you kidding me, Ellington? That is the Andre Ellington that we knew a little earlier in the season. That was a nice run there. Le'Veon Bell back in the game. It's 1st and 10 now with 2.5 minutes to go. And now we're going to start killing clock. Down inside the 2-minute warning. A first down will end it as Le'Veon Bell takes it, and he's wrapped up by Koe Misi. They take their first time out. 2nd and 3 now. It's going to go to Ellington. He runs through a tackle, and there is the first down needed. They take another timeout. And due to a little bit of bad clock management, we're forced to kick a field goal to end this game. Final score, though, padding the stats, is 31-25, and the Steelers win it in one that shouldn't have been this close, but it did end up being close. It was a great game from offense and defense, and Le'Veon Bell earns player of the game, 31 carries, 104 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was definitely carrying the rock a lot today, and I was really impressed with the way he handled it. 31 carries for a rookie isn't something that you see often, but he made the best out of his opportunity. Looking at stats, Ben had a really great first half, but just trailed off a lot in the second. He threw 3 interceptions in the second half. It's unacceptable. Run game, Le'Veon Bell did great, as did Lamar Miller. I was really impressed with him. Receivers, Marcus Wheaton and Antonio Brown had identical stats, 5 for 96, but Wheaton had a touchdown. And defense, Cameron Wake was a monster. Holy cow, what a game by him. We had some standouts on our team. Shamarko Thomas, as always, leading in tackles. Can't really complain about that. And now we look forward to next week as we play another division rival, the 5-8 Cincinnati Bengals. They are second in the AFC North, but there's some really big playoff implications to this game. Here we go. I made this nice little graphic here. Steelers are first in the AFC, and if we beat the Bengals, they are out of the playoff hope. This is the complete playoff standings. Every team that's here is what's left, and any of the 5-8 teams, they need to win it out to even get a chance at a wild card. So they are really rare positions. Otherwise, favorites would be the Colts for the AFC, maybe Eagles, Cowboys, and maybe even the Vikings could sneak in. It's a wide open standing right now for the playoffs. So I hope you liked that little graphic. If you did, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment with your offensive and defensive MVP. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Alright, thank you for the watch. Everyone have a good day. My name is SirEmCeeCoy, and we move on into week 15. We'll see ya.